So on Friday, a man attended the Carowinds amusement park in North Carolina and noticed something a little problematic with the ride. Just this massive crack that seemed to be out of place, seemed to not, need to be there. Made him kind of question the safety of the ride. So let's take a look at this video so I can describe exactly what he saw and why it was a problem. So there it is, you can see it highlighted or spotlighted. There's a major crack in like one of the pillars, I guess, for the roller coaster, which is pretty scary. The man who recorded the video is named Jeremy Wagner, and he noticed the crack while he was waiting for his daughter and niece who had already ridden the ride several times. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for comment from John.
No.
Why not, John?
Obviously, they need to shut it down, and I'm probably never gonna go on any ride again after that. That looked like the entire track could just slide off of there. I know that there's a bunch of different things that are securing it and everything, so I get like, from the point of view of an engineer, why you might not be freaked out about that, but no, I'm not going on that. That's absolute madness. I saw Final Destination growing up, No, not gonna. I already feel super uncomfortable on them. It's amazing that they work at all. It's amazing that there aren't more deaths than there are. And there are a good number, by the way. If you wanna ruin your day, Google it. Google the number of people who die in roller coasters every year. But yeah, that's obviously unacceptable. It's weird how much a willingness to risk other people's lives have been normalized in America. Like I get, this is nothing compared to the pandemic, obviously, where a lot of people took as like the core of their entire personality that they don't mind potentially killing other people. But like that, if you're a worker, I guess it's not up to them perhaps to shut it down, but I would refuse to continue running the ride if I saw that.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna give people the benefit of the doubt and just assume that they didn't know about the crack until this gentleman alerted their attention to it. Is that crazy? Am I being unfair?
I mean,
or am I being too fair?
There was definitely some period. I don't know the specifics. I don't know how long it was.
Well, let's get to some of the specifics. One of the details to the story that I thought was interesting is what the ride is named. It's called Fury 325. Fury 325 is the tallest, fastest, longest giga coaster in North America with a peak height of 325 feet and reaching 95 miles per hour. A giga roller coaster has a drop between 300 and 399 feet, and that's according to Kings Island Amusement Park in Ohio.
No, I don't need to do that. I don't know. I get that there are people who are like super into it. It does seem like
I'm past it. I'm past that point in my life.
Yeah, it's not for me either.
This job is thrilling enough. Let's just put it that way. The roller coaster of my day-to-day working here is more than enough. And by the way, when Wagner tried to your point, John, when he tried to warn the staff about it, he wasn't taken seriously at first. So he says, quote, "I felt there was no urgency in any of the employees, and even after they had me airdrop the video, the guest services person walked off and said, quote, 'I'll send this to somebody.' And they just turned around and walked off, nonchalant."
Yeah.
Now, they might have walked off and alerted someone about it, maybe,
Do you think, like if you saw that and you were gonna go alert someone, would you walk to them? I feel like I would run as fast as I possibly could to stop other people getting on there.
No, I mean, I would like have the fear of God in me.
Yeah, by the way, I'm not faulting the worker. Like obviously they need to do more maintenance, more checks of this sort of thing. But it's also possible that like the people who work there have the experience every day of being there. They know what's normal and what's not. So if they're being nonchalant, maybe this is more normal than we would assume.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Maybe they know that things like this happen. It's not actually the end of the world. Maybe they see more things than get out to the news in viral videos.
I think you might have a point there.
Remember, really fast, you remember the story we did of the plane and like the wing was being repaired with tape? Like that, from what I read after doing the story, is somewhat common. They do stuff like that. They fix these problems with the metal with tape or whatever. So that's a thing that seems crazy, but it's normal to them. The question is, should it be normal? Should it be normalized?
I mean, I don't.
What if they just taped the roller coaster?
Here's what should be normalized.
Gorilla tape.
Urgency to shut down a ride once you notice a major defect that could get people injured or potentially killed, given how high up that ride goes and how far down that drop would be.
The giga drop.
The giga drop, exactly. But look, the person that is a real American hero here is Wagner himself, because he was persistent. So he alerted the employee about it. Honestly, I'm unclear in regard to what the employee did. He says the employee was nonchalant. I'll take his word for it. Luckily, he notified the fire department about this issue. And that was when the ride was shut down, when the fire department got involved. Now, the ride has been closed since for inspections and repairs. So Wagner very possibly saved people's lives here. And I commend him for that. You see something, say something. But is it just a one-off incident? To your point, John, nearly 40,000 injuries were estimated last year on amusement attractions, including rides, water slides, and inflatables. And that's according to the Federal Consumer Product Safety Commission. Now, Carowinds has stated that all of their rides are subject to daily inspections, but that seems unlikely given how big that crack was.
Oh, no, they mean daily inspections by people recording videos for TikTok. It's a standardized service. There's people walking around. Sometimes they catch it, sometimes they don't.
And look, it's unknown what caused the crack. It's not, and we don't know
the
what
fact
caused
that
it, right?
this is a crazy thing to build, that it was an unnecessary thing to build,
Don't say
that it's
that. I
built
don't
to
think it's
save money, that
unnecessary.
it's not like there's no reason to build it. Like in the first place, it's crazy.
What's interesting though is like not everyone was equally as concerned about that giant crack, so you feel terrified looking at that, right? Not everyone. So McLean Waddle is better known around Carowinds by his nickname, the Fury Guy. It's therapy. 15 to 40 times a day, I try to be there every day of the week, before work, after work. He told Channel 9's Genevieve Curtis. I mean, he's a thrill seeker. He's got an adrenaline rush every time he does it, so he's addicted to it. Now, he's clocked a record 10,442 rides on the park's flagship roller coaster, including a dozen laps Friday night shortly before the ride was shut down. Waddle wasn't worried. Quote, "It's steel. It's a stress fracture. Things happen," Waddle said. "Nobody was in danger. We were safe. I still loved it Friday night."
Look, it is likely that Waddle is correct. It's also possible that Waddle, having ridden the ride more than 10,000 times, is just desperate for it to change in literally any way. And now the whole thing wobbles back and forth. He's like, this is a variation, I'm kind of into it. That is, you know, I remember reading in a book when I was much younger that one way that teachers can like move students in the right direction is you sort of give them a reputation that they don't necessarily deserve. Like if you tell a first grade student, like, you pay attention so well in class, studies show that they will pay attention better to live up to the reputation because everybody wants an identity. When they started calling this guy the Fury Guy, he was sort of obligated to go 15 to 40 times a day. Like that's who he is. I feel bad. They should have given him a different reputation.
He seems to love it, and if it makes him
I'm
happy,
joking.
and if it makes him happy, I back his love affair with this roller coaster fully. I just
don't
hope they
get
fix it in time so he can go back to enjoying it as much as he does.
There is nothing I want to do 15 to 40 times a day. That is too much of anything, including very fun things.
No, I'm pretty sure I could find things I want to do 15 to 40 times a day.
I
can't think of it at the moment, but I'm sure there's something. No, cuddles with Charlie, belly rubs for Charlie.
10 times is fine. I don't get the roller coasters. It's just not my thing. Like
Have you ever liked roller coasters?
I will do roller coasters and I appreciate that they're thrilling, but I also generally get sick after the thrilling part, and then that just kind of ruins the day. I just prefer like Pirates of the Caribbean. I want to go in a fairly slow moving thing with cool stuff happening around me. That's really, I'm happy just for that. The Winnie the Pooh ride. It's a small world after all.
Okay.
The Jungle Cruise.
So
with the new changes to
the Small World ride at Disneyland. I don't know for sure. I'm just basing this on what I experienced the last time I was at Disney, which was a few years ago. It hasn't been updated since the park opened.
It's a throwback.
And given the fact that Small World is all about celebrating different cultures. And I think the park opened in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. They should update the ride a little bit.
Yeah, look,
that's all I'm saying.
Honestly,
they should update the ride.
Somehow it's less, I think, clearly offensive than many of the other rides, which have been updated recently. They're updating one of them in the near future. They just did the Jungle Cruise recently.
Nice.
I just find that stuff to be more enjoyable.
I like the Jungle Cruise a lot.
Yeah, it's fun. I like the sassy boat operator.
Yes,
that's always fun.
Yes, and all the fun jokes.
And I'm sure that they love the experience of saying those lines 10 times a day. They say those lines more than Waddington goes on the Fury, but
his name's Waddle.
Waddle.
I love that you gave him like a fancy
Sir
name.
Waddington III. His descendant, every first male descendant has to ride the Fury as much as possible, or else the witch will win. But yeah, no, I like that. I like the sassy dialogue.
Love
and
it.
I've never seen a big crack in the boat.
Fair, neither have I.
Sometimes on people, but not in the boat.
Same.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.